British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was admitted to a London hospital yesterday, 10 days after he was diagnosed with COVID-19. Johnson's office said he was still experiencing symptoms from the virus, and they took his move as a precautionary step. To date, the UK has seen 47,800 infections and nearly 5,000 deaths due to COVID-19. Johnson is also the first known head of state to have fallen ill from the virus. Let's go to London now. CTV's Daniele Hamamdjian is joining us this morning. Danielle, good morning. Good to see you. What's the latest this morning on Boris Johnson's condition?
Well, the Prime Minister himself has just tweeted saying that he is in good spirits, that he went to hospital on the advice of his doctor because he is still experiencing persistent symptoms and is undergoing some tests. Now, we don't know if those tests include oxygen treatment or whatnot, but it doesn't appear as though the Prime Minister will be leaving today. It's important to note this all started now 11 days ago when his symptoms were mild. Now they're being described as persistent. This was described as a precautionary step. Translation, he's not getting any better. And 11 days after testing positive for COVID-19, that is a concern, no doubt. He is 55 years old. He's been appearing in these social media videos that he's been posting online, and he's not looking great, to be honest. And this is sort of this, unanimous observation. And so he's got high fever, he's still coughing, but he is still in charge of the pandemic response. The symptoms can be exhausting and draining for anybody, but when you are the leader of a country and you are the person in charge, I can't imagine he's been getting the rest that he needs. I should point as well that his pregnant fiancée also tweeted on Saturday that she had been experiencing symptoms as well. She has been in bed for a week, and they, of course, have not been seeing each other. He has been, until yesterday, in quarantine at number 11 Downing Street, and she is at home in quarantine as well, Marcia.
So what's happening with the leadership of the government while he's in hospital? You say he's still in charge of the response team, but during this crisis, are there calls for someone else to step up in Boris Johnson's place?
Mm-hmm. Well, should he become incapable of leading the country, the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, will step in. In the meantime, his Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, who himself tested positive, in fact, on the same day the news came out that he was positive, he tested positive, he rested for a week, and he is now back in action. He is leading these press conferences on a daily basis. And so the Health Secretary and Michael Gove will both of them will step in and take charge if need be. But we understand that he's in good spirits. He's been getting his red boxes at the hospital, and he is working from there. But again, after 10 or 11 days, if your symptoms do not improve, it is cause for concern. And again, the government will not confirm whether or not he's been getting oxygen treatment, but there's optimism that he will be out in just a few short days and back at work at Downing Street.
Okay, and lastly, Danielle, just wanted to get the view from there. What's been the reaction to the Queen's message yesterday?
I think in a few short words, it was the pep talk a lot of people were needed to hear. I mean, it's easy to be cynical. There she is giving her speech from a castle, but this is a woman who has been through a lot. She has seen a lot, and she talked about her experience in 1940, 80 years ago, in fact, is when she and her sister, Princess Margaret, first took the airwaves when they addressed child evacuees during the war. She herself served as a mechanic during the war. She talked about the resilience of the country, and in just a few minutes, she really delivered the kind of optimism and the morale, I think, is higher today than it was yesterday, especially after the news of the Prime Minister. But she was the prep talk I think a lot of people needed, and her speech was very, very well received. It's a woman who has, she's been around for most of people's lives here, and has been around for so long. So it was very well received, Marcia.
Daniele Hamamdjian in London for us this morning. Danielle, thank you so much.